What's up, guys? It is the Weekly Pour, Episode VII. And look, there's video. What's up, Ace?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I am your other host, TBT. It is, again, episode number, did I say 7 or
You said
6?
7.
Okay,
No,
I
we're on
think,
7.
yeah, it's 7. So last week we had special guest Toby with us, and we actually did this right here for those that are actually watching versus listening. However, for whatever reason, we have no idea why, Toby's audio did not come through the video portion of the podcast. So, unfortunately, through 6 episodes, we've still not perfected this enough to be able to upload it so that you guys can see who we are, because some people apparently are confused at who certain people are. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move my name over a little bit. Yeah, there. I'm almost centered. Anyway, it is Tuesday night, typical evening for myself and Ace to do our little podcast thing. Lots to talk about this week. No special guest. It's just the two of us. Ace, I'm going to let you get right into it because I know where you're going first.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which, our second episode, I think we went on a good lengthy tear about.
It was a rampage.
It was a rampage.
Yeah.
So you saw that Pat Benatar got in,
Right.
which I thought would happen. Judas Priest got in. I have to look that up, but that may not be exactly the induction we thought they'd get, but they're in. And your favorite, Dolly Parton.
We talked about her saying, yeah, I don't really want to do this if I get it. But then she turned around and said she will do it because, there's more to just the Hall of Fame than, playing rock music. Well, thanks to your research, Google is everybody's best friend. You sent me a link and I clicked play. I didn't hesitate, although I made sure I was in something that had a good stereo system. So I was in my truck. I was actually traveling to
That's tired.
right. I was heading an hour away from home last Friday, going to a furniture store, which has no business being on the podcast because that's boring as shit. But I'm heading to a furniture store, and actually, I had my wife and my mom in the vehicle with me, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Ace just sent me this link, and we need to listen to it." And I get the look like, okay, we'll see how this is going to go. And I said, "Don't worry, it's Dolly Parton." And mom's like, "Okay, sounds good." The wife's like, what kind of parody is this going to be of Dolly Parton? Dolly Parton singing "Stairway to Heaven." I never thought for the life of me that this existed, but I listened to it and I said, "Holy crap, that's pretty good."
Yeah, strangely enough, that popped up, I think, the day that they announced that she was going to be in. And I happened to see it, and I'm like, well, there's her required rock song that she had to do,
Right.
to make everyone feel better.
And I thought for a second, I was like, well, maybe this is going to be, some kind of like South Park rip or something where it's really not her or it's a voice that sounds like her.
Yeah.
And no, this was like legit. And I never knew this existed. So if anybody's questioning what we're actually feeding you right now, go to YouTube and Google Dolly Parton singing Stairway to Heaven. And your mind will either be blown, you'll sit there and go, "Holy crap, Dolly Parton can sing anything," or you'll turn it off and say, "Yeah, we'll leave it to Led Zeppelin." For me, I left it on because I was mesmerized by just it's Dolly Parton, and she's singing one of the with the most one of the most iconic songs out there, and uh I played it twice because I had to, and then I was like,
Did you
it's
really?
to me it's not as good as Heart because nothing beats Heart. I think them and their rendition of Stairway to Heaven is top notch. It's my number 2 favorite version behind the original. Um,
Hmm.
but Dolly Parton did a good job.
I'm sure she, I don't think at the end hit the wailing Robert Plant notes or anything like that. It wasn't meant to be something like that, but
Right.
She proved she can do something
Yeah,
in the rock realm.
she
Uh,
sure did.
yeah, but Hart does a lot of good cover versions
Woo.
of not just Stairway to Heaven, but Battle of Evermore. That's always a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when they're not fighting, bickering, whatever.
Yeah, kind of like they are now.
Right. But
Um,
I'm glad I exposed not only you but your wife and your mother
oh yeah,
to this, or that you put them through it.
I put them through it.
Right.
I put them through it, but it's not like they were like, oh, that's kind of that sucks. Both the wife and mom, they both know Stairway to Heaven. They know Led Zeppelin. Oh yeah, but when I was like, oh, let's play it with Dolly Parton, they were like, man, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was
My,
impressed.
my brother-in-law uh, trolled me the other day on Facebook, and I have not listened to it. I should, just to be fair. I haven't got around to it, but it's a country ballad version of "Here I Go Again," and I'm like, because with country music, what it is now, which is basically failed pop stars trying to get on the radio,
Right.
you can make a lot of things sound country, but I haven't
Yeah.
listened to it. He says it is good. A friend of mine commented that it was better than the original, which I cried blasphemy.
Yeah, I would have too. I'd have bullshit flag. I'd have flew it right there.
And by original, he means the 1987 version, not the bluesy version from Satan's. I think Satan Center,
Right.
White Snake record. But yeah, so I haven't went down that road yet. But if it's any good or worth a shit, I'll send it to you.
You know what? Even if it's not, send it to me anyway,
Okay.
because it may give us good material to actually make fun of on this. So
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
go for it.
yeah. But always good. Not just Dolly Parton aside, good that Priest has got some recognition. We don't get a lot of metal in the
No,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
we don't get a
so
lot of rock and roll in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
true. And I saw too that I think Rob Halford said that he was all up for KK Downing coming out and playing.
I read that, and
Yeah,
I think that would be phenomenal.
yeah, it would be great. Yeah, and I think Tipton has made some appearances a little bit here and there. He's the one with I think he's got Parkinson's, right?
Right? Yeah.
So he has actually made a few little appearances on the tour they're on. Man, if they could all get together and just put all the bullshit aside and play, that'd be great. Be better than what Kiss did.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, I mean, where you just don't do anything at all because you just can't stand each other.
Yeah. For the amount of money or fanship or whatever, you would think you'd be able to put away those shitty feelings for 15 minutes. Let's play a set,
Mm-hmm.
get the songs done out of the way, and then go backstage, beat each other's ass, do whatever you need to do.
Right, because you're saying that it's all this is for the fans, but you can't put this aside to give the fans something they would want.
Right.
Did you see? I think either Paul or Gene or both have thrown out the well, Ace can come and play on the tour. He can come and play a show, not openly inviting him, but just he's
Right.
what does that mean? You're welcome. So you just
Is it an olive branch, or is it, hey, if you need some extra cash, let's work on a contract to get you to come play, I don't know, 2 3 shows, maybe something like on the Kiss cruise where you're a special
yeah.
guest, or who knows. It's Gene
And,
Simmons. I mean, who knows.
and by Ace, I mean Ace Frehley, not
Not
Ace.
you. Yeah.
No, I would
Yeah.
never be invited, and they wouldn't want me on stage. But I think it's more of a hey, we're offering it, and if he doesn't show up, they can just say, well, he didn't show up.
Will they offer that to anybody else?
Probably not. Probably not. I haven't heard anything about like Bruce Kulick coming and playing, which that would be cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm thinking like, Peter.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I saw that or not. If they offered Peter something like that, I doubt it. They really don't have near the problem with Ace Frehley as they do with Peter Chris,
Oh, agreed, for sure.
especially Paul Stanley, from what I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. there was something I was watching that I'm sitting here looking over my notes because we take notes for these things. And we're talking about people being guests on stuff. Dolly Parton singing that, and going on with Kiss and everything. Axl Rose a week, 2 weeks ago, was on stage with. She won American Idol. I don't listen to her. It's country music. I don't listen to it. I don't know her name, but she was singing "Welcome to the Jungle." She's
Oh,
hot.
you're talking about Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, that's her.
Whoa, whoa!
Well, okay, so I'll rewind.
You don't know Carrie
I
Underwood?
know her, but like I just couldn't think of her name.
I'm not saying you have to know her music, but
Okay, I failed as a man to understand that I needed to remember that name. You're right. You're right. But Axel jumped up on, didn't jump up on stage. I think he was there. She's singing. Uh,
Paradise
welcome.
City.
I think was it Paradise City or was it
Uh,
Welcome to the Jungle?
they did both.
Okay, well maybe that's what it is. I saw both, but he's up there singing with her. She's
Mhm.
dressed in her GNR shirt. I'm repping Poison, so
Right.
she's in her GNR shirt, and I mean it was pretty entertaining.
She has historically played Guns N' Roses in the middle of her set since she started. She
Huh?
was one, in my opinion. I don't know if you watched American Idol when she was on it,
I think I did many moons ago.
but I always kind of felt they pigeonholed her a little bit in the country category because of how she sounded, how she looked, how she performed in that genre a little bit.
Sure,
But I think she's got a bit of a rock and roll heart, and she likes to do GNR in her sets. I think she's been known to do all kinds of covers right in the
really,
middle of the set. Yeah, and this gets me to where I go with country music because uh, it's basically adult orientated rock for people our age
sure.
because they don't want to listen to what's out there now.
I
Look
agree.
look at Keith Urban. I don't know if you know Keith Urban, but
I do. Because of his wife.
okay, yeah,
That's fair.
uh, great guitar player,
He
and
is.
there's not a lot that he does that is right down the middle country music. It's borderline a lot of times, and he breaks into covers.
I'm gonna break out a name, which you might
Okay.
end up being surprised that I know. Brad Paisley,
Mm-hmm.
another phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
Right. Uh,
And there's more and more and more guitar all the time popping up in country music. Less steel guitar because for whatever reason, but
yeah.
more more rock like guitar.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because they can get on the radio that way and still have some credibility as an artist.
Well, I think they have the ability to get on the radio on something other than just the country charts. They
Hmm?
can break off
If you
on
cross over,
yeah, cross over into maybe a little bit of the pop,
mhm.
maybe a little bit of the rock station, something like that. So yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I mean, there's a fine line, honestly, between the current version. I think the current version of Hinder to what is going on in country. Because Hinder, I don't know if you paid attention to them at all after. I think it's Adam Winkler left,
Yeah,
their
it's been
singer.
like 15 years.
Well, it's been a while. Well, they've got their producer ended up taking over the lead singing duties at one point. So I pull out this Hinder record. I'm thinking, oh well, I'll listen to this. It's Hinder, right? Man, he has put the country shine on a handful of things they've done. I'd have to look up the record.
Is it kind of like Bob Rock deciding to sing for Metallica?
Maybe I don't know, but there's a couple songs I'm like, what has he done? He's turned this into bro rock, country rock, or something. It's
Oh wow.
not my cup of tea, but it blurs the line, is what I'm saying. We're blurring that line sometimes between the two genres because everyone, as Nickelback says, we all want to be big rock stars, but not everyone can. Garth
Sure.
Brooks. Garth Brooks wanted to be a rock star at one point. And what's he do? Smashes guitars, runs around on stage, puts on a show. Uh, Brad Paisley, hell of a guitar player. You got Keith Urban, you got Carrie Underwood playing with GNR and doing covers for years.
Lady Gaga playing with Metallica. I mean, I know she's not country, but
Right,
she did cross over into the country with the dude
right,
that she was in the movie with.
right, and that's what Crossroads is about. And then they realize, yeah, man, I just really like this music. It leads me all the way back to AC/DC doing the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Because they could play 5, 6 songs, everyone's going to know it, they're going to rock out, and they're like, man, we love AC/DC.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are the best ever.
They're great. GNR could do it and be
Oh,
great
yeah, for
easily,
sure.
easily good. And they're considered classic rock now, so there's nothing that edgy about them anymore.
No, I
Well, there
just
used to
don't.
be.
I don't appreciate the title classic rock, but unfortunately, you are
Uh,
100% correct.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of classic rock, and I only say this just to make fun of myself, but Def Leppard, I was reading an article earlier that they're all getting ready to start practicing for the tour and
Yep.
everything, and the look on your face, you may know where I'm going with this,
I think
but
I just got to pull it up.
okay, they everybody's worried about Vince Neil.
Oh, they should be.
Everybody's worried about Bruce Neal, about Vince Neil, whether it be his vocals or whatever, but mainly the fact that Vince got chunky. So
Mm,
Def Leppard, and this is not new because they've done this for years. They're bringing a trainer with them
right.
now. One of the trainers that Phil Collin, I think,
Yeah.
uses, the dude's name is Eric. He's actually on Instagram. If you look up Eric the Trainer, he's there, and you can see him with various pictures with Phil Collin.
Yeah.
Good grief! But anyway, they're bringing his trainer along, and I think that they're either hoping or anticipating that Vince is gonna listen to his nutritionist
It's going to rub off.
and maybe decide to go, can I show Coke, or is that like a sponsor I shouldn't? I don't know.
You can, but you're doing it for free.
Oh yeah, damn it. But so they're bringing a trainer, and I don't
Uh,
know, is it going to be good for Vince? He might just say, oh yeah, you guys, good job, I'm tired. Well, no, hey,
that was
yeah, I know, I
that
heard
was
that
something I
echo
read a
too.
while back. Yeah, but that was something I heard a while back that I think Nikki Sixx had said they were all getting in shape for the tour, and this may have been before this version of the tour, but one of the halted ones.
Right.
Meaning they were getting in shape. They were hitting the gym, they were running because they wanted to put on their best performance. But that always leads to, well, what's Vince doing? Is he doing the same thing?
What is
Uh,
we?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And and we means what? You and Tommy? Because Mick can't move.
Hmm.
I mean, he's a what, a calcified statue at this point.
Right.
And I mean, Vince, he's Vince.
He's
He's
just Vince.
yeah. So it says here that Phil Collins says hopefully Vince Neil will be working out while they're on tour. You really think he's going to, or is he just going to do what he always does?
Yeah.
You you saw that documentary on VH1 a few years ago, well, several years ago, where they
Yeah.
were whipping him into shape uh,
Yeah.
for one of his solo records, and dyed his hair and trimmed him up and got him a facelift or some shit, and uh, then brought some guy in to write this sappy song about my friend, whatever it was. It was awful, but it was fun watching a transformation just because I like things like that.
I, I,
Uh, how long did that
yeah,
stretch?
I love Vince Neil's first solo record. I think it was called Exposed.
Yeah, that first one's
I loved it.
yes. I
Steve
think you're right.
Stevens playing guitar.
It's Steve Stevens. I was just going to say that.
Um, I don't remember. He had somebody from Enough's Enough. I don't remember if it was. Oh hell, I don't remember. But anyway, phenomenal record. Had some background singing from I think Bon Jovi on one of them, or maybe it was Alice Cooper. I don't remember, but I loved it. Um,
It was, yeah, it was good.
and I want to apologize now if anybody can hear this, but we've got a lot of echo going on. This is obviously a point that we are not professionals.
We are
So
aware of our technical difficulties.
yeah, we are the technical difficulties. Um, I wrote down Vince Neil's solo record just to bring that up because man, it was so good. I loved it. And
Yeah, that's
what drove me to it was watching a Pauly Shore movie
oh
because one
really?
one of those songs, one of the songs from that record was on. It was "You're Invited but Your Friends Can't Come,"
Yeah,
and I want to say it might have been on Encino Man, but I don't remember for sure. Okay,
I think it was.
I'm totally gonna
I
watch
think it
that movie
was.
again this weekend because I'm sure it was amazing. But it's Pauly Shore.
Yeah, and this was definitely an album. Ron Nevison produced it. He's a pretty big time producer. I mean, you had some heavy hitters on it. If anyone's never heard a Vince Neil solo record, this is right after Dr. Feelgood, right when the Motley Crue self-titled record came out with John Corabi, right around that time. And we've almost created a Van Halen, David Lee Roth situation, very similar, in the sense that I'm going to try to do something and show you I can do it without you. And he did a pretty good job, and I believe it sold well.
I think he did a great job. That was of solo records that go out there, and not to say that I listen to a lot of them, but of solo records that were put out by these lead singers that were just badass at one point or another. His tops my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
for
it,
that time period and this genre that we're talking about, Vince Neil's absolutely tops the list for me.
yeah. Sister of Pain was the one I liked.
Yes, excellent song.
And you are correct. It is Encino Man.
Okay, nice.
According according to Wikipedia.
Ah, Wikipedia. That's all right. Wikipedia is good. Um, Now let's turn a page and start looking at some of the new stuff that's out. Um, Again, I go back to you sending me a link. Um,
Who
that
did this?
right. This is what we do. Is we send each other links about music and whatnot that comes out. But I didn't start listening to it until I got home today because, as you know, today was one of those days where you just needed to come home, grab your favorite drink, and just crank some loud music very loud.
Yeah, it's been a day, definitely.
Yeah. So I started playing the new Hailstorm.
I was hoping you'd
Oh
bring it up.
my goodness.
Hoping you would bring it up.
I did. I made it through. I didn't really sit and listen to actually any of it because it was just playing in the background as I'm, trying to forget the day and all that. But uh, man, is it good?
Yeah, I played it Friday. I was on a long trip Friday, so it came out, and I got through most of it. And yeah, it's really good, especially for something where they had some time to write some songs because of the pandemic.
What's it been?
But
2 years?
2 or 3, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, and it's well worth it. I'm actually getting here shortly. It's coming in the mail. I'm getting the vinyl version,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
which I'm excited about. I think it's coming on a red vinyl, which will really be cool.
No doubt.
But yeah, this is well worth it.
Yeah. So
From
anybody go listen to it. It's on Apple Music wherever you buy your music. I don't want to just give all the credit to Apple, but man, I it's almost like they were able to take their time.
oh right.
I mean, which they weren't 2 3 years, but they were able to actually put together a product that's worth listening to.
Yes, and that brings me to a thought I've had all this week, really, and maybe even longer. But how how do bands produce music that's quality music when they don't have any time to write the fucking songs? And if you think about it, when you and I were in school, we may have heard a record that came out in, let's say, 1985. It was a big hit. You heard it for 2 years. And then another one comes out in 87, and you're thinking, wow, they had 2 years. Well, no, they didn't have two
They
years.
were on tour.
They were on tour the whole time and then get dumped right back into the studio. So, man, this is great that Hailstorm had that time. And I'll tell you another thing, uh, the Pretty Reckless record that just came out, what, a year ago.
Right.
Well, Taylor Momsen, since she hasn't been doing anything else during the pandemic except playing that record in rehearsal, she's already written another record. She's already written another record because she's had all that creativity and all that time. She's just waiting.
I
She's not.
struggle to get my bills paid every month because I don't want to write them out, but these guys are writing records.
We struggle to take notes for this podcast, and you
No
know,
kidding.
but yeah, she's got a whole nother record. Matter of fact, Styx, um, they had enough for a double record. They didn't put a double record out, but they had enough for a double record because they had the time and the creativity and the want to. Um, I mean, the Pretty Reckless aren't even touring right now. They've got a record,
Right.
but the pandemic has scared some people off from actually going full blown on tour. So she's taking her time, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, that's great that we'll get to see the record finally, and then by the time they come on tour, we may have another one.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned, how when we were growing up, you would get an album, like you said, like, 85. Well, here's a perfect example. Poison, 86.
Mhm.
Look what the cat dragged in. 86, 87, 88. 2 years later, Open Up and Say Aw.
Right,
When they were still with Enigma. And it was probably 90, 2 years later, Flesh and Blood.
right. It was right around
So
that time.
it was almost, you could almost plan it like, oh, this is a badass album. I know I'm going to get another one in 2 years. Not just Poison, any of the hair bands at the time, they were all that way. Now, you look at somebody like Metallica, who puts an album out in, let's say 2017. I don't know
The
when the
the
last one was.
the new one.
Yeah, the newest one. And let's say it's 2017. We're 5 years past that by now. Where's the
Yep.
new one at? Well, Jesus, they're touring. They're touring everywhere. Antarctica, Brazil, Iceland, Carlsbad Caverns. I mean, you name it, they're touring. Um, and that's what people are like, man, we really wish we'd get a new Metallica album. Well, you will when they stop touring.
Right.
Now I know they're writing songs, and you just they take portable studios and stuff like that. But this is Metallica. They can do whatever they want, however they want, and they're going to because people are still going to listen to them. I'll listen to the next album.
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly. Especially because it was the last one was so good,
exactly.
and
Um,
they've got nothing to prove anyway.
no, they have nothing to prove, and I don't think they really have anything to lose.
No.
I would like to see them just say, okay, I want to I want to just have an obscure tour, and I want to tour with Garth Brooks, since you mentioned him earlier. I want to see a Garth Brooks Metallica concert. I'm gonna
You are
write
so
that. I'm gonna write that down. Garth Brooks
good.
Metallica. Uh, but something like that. Why don't people think outside of the box that way? Why don't we have those obscure tours of now? Yeah, we have Lollapalooza. We have all these little festivals that put all these different people together. But Metallica, Garth Brooks, Steel Panther, Dolly Parton. Okay, maybe I'm stretching it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Do you want me to hear something actually that is feasible? Since I went on a little talk about blurring the lines in country, the current version of Foreigner could probably tour with a country act and be just fine.
I think you're
Be-
right.
because the audience that is built in for country is either going to be, in some cases, a very young crowd because a lot of young girls like Brad Paisley or uh, pick a name out of a hat, but
Yeah,
also their parents, and their parents grew up on hey Foreigner,
exactly.
and I think you honestly could do it and make money. I think you could do it.
Well, especially, Look at some of the bands that are on tour now. A mutual friend of ours just went the other day and seen Journey and Toto.
Right.
Um, we've actually got a few friends that actually went to that show. I've not heard a single person say that that show sucked. Everybody's been saying that Toto of all bands sounded just incredible. Not to take anything away from Journey. Journey sounded, great too. And one of the guys that we know that went, he's been a Journey fan for, as long as we've been into, hair bands and all that. And he said that he would put this concert that he just saw almost near the top because it was so good.
That's amazing to me because
Yeah.
you don't think about Toto. You don't think about Toto live, anything. And I don't know when they toured last.
You talk about Toto, I think, my opinion, I think if you ask the average person about Toto,
Two,
they could name two songs:
probably, probably
Africa and Roseanne. Rosanna, Roseanne, whatever.
Rosanna,
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm going to say two songs they could name.
Right. And I honestly, as much as I know about things, could probably stretch it to three or four. To be
Sure.
honest.
I could not. I was not a fan of Toto. It just wasn't, they weren't heavy enough for me. I wasn't
Yeah.
playing Toto right after I got done playing Theater of Pain, on cassette. Because Theater of Pain at the time, whoa, that was it. That was the hard stuff, and I was not following it up with Toto, although MTV would. On the
Yeah.
countdown, here's Motley Crue, followed by Toto.
Yeah. Or just any other random day.
Correct, exactly. Unless you
Yeah.
switch to VH1.
They played the shit out of Africa, didn't they?
Yep, they sure did.
I've got the globe in my head right now in the video.
It's twirling.
Yeah. I got it in my head right now.
Um, Interesting news too. I don't know if you've read this. This is about Dee Snider.
Oh, I have not.
All right, so think back way, way, way back to 1998. It's not that far away, but 1998. Uh, Dee Snider joined into the realm of filmmaking and had Strangeland.
Yes, I don't know much about it, but I do remember it.
It was his take of horror movie. Um, I don't remember the plot. I know there was a cop and a daughter or a sister or something like that. Anyway, 1998. So we're looking at 24, 25 years ago,
Okay.
right? Is my math that good?
You're close.
Okay,
Uh,
that we'll call it good then. Um, he's starting pre-production in June on a new horror movie.
oh yeah.
It's going to be called. I got to look at my notes for this. My Enemy's Enemy is what it's going to be called, and it's
And
going into pre-production. I'm looking forward to it. Dee Snider's matured a little bit in the last 20 years, I think. Um,
this is
hopefully, hopefully it'll be better than Strangeland. Strangeland wasn't horrible, but at the time, 98, I mean, not a whole lot was horrible, but it's still, check it out if you haven't watched it.
is it? Does it hold up?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I would say no. Somebody else might say yes. I think it's one of those you just have to watch and you're like, it's a horror movie, but it's kind of cringeworthy. It's no Rob Zombie horror movie.
Okay. I was going to ask.
Gosh, I could watch Rob Zombie stuff like over and over and over and feel like I'm in a cult until I walked outside and realized, oh, this is real life.
Where does a guy like Rob Zombie learn to make a movie? Where I don't know enough about his background to know why or how he learned to make movies.
I don't know if I just made this up, but I seem to recall something about Rob Zombie and special effects or something. And
Hmm.
this may be just something that's total bullshit. and it's just something that's in my head because I don't remember. But I could have swore that Rob Zombie did something with special effects prior to getting into music. I don't know if you have the ability to look anything up, but yeah, I don't know what his background is other than he just wanted to make some movies, and my gosh, he kicked ass on his cult classics, I think, um, that just were crazy.
Well,
And putting his wife in the movies too, to me, added more depth to it.
you
No
think?
pun intended with the way those freaking movies were.
Yeah, I liked the House of House of a Thousand Corpses,
Yep.
The Devil's Rejects. I thought that was better.
Yeah.
Uh, I I liked his Halloween movies. There's people that really the Halloween aficionados that really rip on those, but
Sure.
I liked them.
Well, you're going to have the same thing because they're remaking The Crow. I
Why?
know you're never going to replace the classic Brandon Lee The Crow. You're never going to replace that. But somebody's going to remake it. And the reason these movies are getting remade is because we've ran out of ideas for movies. They're going to
It,
redo The Goonies, for goodness sakes.
are you serious?
Yeah, that's already been talked about. They're going to redo that.
We what we have is a branding problem,
Correct.
and these brands are familiar, and we're in the wheelhouse again where you and I can say, "Hey, I saw the Goonies. Watch it with the kids." And then when it comes out in a remake, we're like, "Hey, let's go see the remake, kids." And now you've got a whole bunch of people watching it, and not
Right.
just it goes that way with rock bands when they have one original member or maybe none.
Right.
Uh, it's not about
Which one, episodes 1 through 6, I'm pretty sure we've mentioned that.
yeah. I mean, how many lawsuits have we had over this version of Rat, that version of Rat,
Great
uh,
White.
Great White? I'm actually just started reading Jim Peterick's book on the band Survivor. He
Hmm.
went through a very similar thing, you know. So it's a branding thing.
Absolutely.
But why can't you just, if you want to make the idea, why can't you do it your way, tweak it, call it something else?
Exactly.
You know,
Well,
you tweak it a little bit.
perfect example. Creed.
Hey, Scott Stapp in Evansville.
Right, but think about that. Creed, we'll get to that in a second. Creed goes, okay, we're not going to start a new band we're not going to keep the same band with a brand new lead singer and call it Creed. They did completely opposite,
Mm-hmm.
switched over, new lead singer, all the former members of Creed, and it's now called Alter Bridge.
And it's different.
It's different, better.
I think it is. Yeah.
I totally think it is, but that's exactly what were just talking about. Is they went and they did something that they changed the name and called it something different. It wasn't Coke, and then we're going to change the formula and we're going to call it New Coke. Yeah,
Right.
okay, that fooled people.
Which tasted like Pepsi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You you brought this up, and this is one of my favorite debates. But this actually follows right along with Van Halen and Van Hagar, because one of the reasons you can't compare those two versions of Van Halen is because they're not the same thing at all.
Right.
The whole who was better, Sammy or Dave, is ridiculous because they were both amazing in their own way, and they're totally different bands.
Exactly. You
That was why Sammy pushed to change it. He didn't want it to be called. He wanted it to be called Van Halen because it's Van Halen and it's Eddie's band. But I believe Eddie had pushed to even call it Van Hagar. That we joked about that when I was in high school. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't.
we all did until it was like, oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that was true.
he actually wanted to call it that because it was something different.
Yep. Um, and yeah, I mean, you can listen to that now and just listen to some Van Halen and all the energy and it was a party band, really. In my
Oh,
opinion, when it was
oh,
Van Halen, you changed it to Van Hagar and you listen to OU 812. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of music, like musical talent for me
mhm.
was pulled out in that album that makes it just a top freaking album, not just, singing a song on how to jump
Yeah, yeah,
or, but those are anthems. Those are rock anthems. Those are the
right.
songs that get you going. OU812, just to pick on that one with Sammy Hagar, was just like, it was just a badass album that seemed to bring the talent out of the musicians versus just saying, "Hey guys, check out this riff. We're gonna call the song Jump."
Well, and this goes also back to another debate we had a few episodes ago. Frontman, singer. You know,
Right.
Roth is a frontman, and what is Sammy? He is a singer. He's a singer. He's so good.
Yeah.
So you have a guy that can actually carry melodies. You can write a song, and he can sing it, he won't back down from it. And I'm not picking one over the other. I'm not starting that debate. Uh, Also, though, our generation, the Hagar version is our Van Halen, and that's one thing people have to remember. My brother is a little bit older than I, and believe it or not, and he grew up on the Roth Van Halen. So as soon as David Lee Roth quits, everyone's done, right? But this new guy comes along, and now you and I have something to latch onto, our
Exactly.
generation,
Yep. And
and you can't fight their success either.
no, and not only their success, but I mean, you can't fight the difference. The fact that there is a legit there's a line down there
Mhm.
that separates the difference in the two bands. If you want to listen to the melodic side of Van Halen, then you better do it under Sammy Hagar.
You're absolutely right, because it is melodic,
Yep.
and if you want that groundbreaking rock party type band, you're going to listen to the Roth stuff, and I love both. I will tell you also the live version that Sammy Hagar does of Jump, which he hates, but
Yeah.
he sings it, and it sounds great. It sounds great. He sings a melody. He adds little things to it. Um, and it's like, man, you're taking a song that you really didn't like, and you turned it into something really, really cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
so, Sammy, if you're out there listening, I know you are. Uh,
Sammy is one of our 43,000 listeners.
I truly appreciate the fact that you still did that song, even though
Yeah.
you didn't like it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like it. There was one other thing I was going to bring up a while ago. Oh, I mentioned Metallica.
Hmm.
I have to bring up because I think this is funny, and I'm going to make a crude attempt at a joke here in a minute. There was a child born at a Metallica concert in Brazil like last week.
Okay.
It was a tattoo artist, and her
The child,
water.
of the tattoo artist, the child.
The
Like,
tattoo artist had the child,
oh, I was going to say, damn, pick a profession already.
right? So, tattoo artist, pregnant, goes to the Metallica concert, and all this feedback has to start when I'm getting ready to tell this good story. Um, it was like the end of the show. They were finishing up. Enter Sandman was playing to finish it all, and I think it was a boy. I may have been a girl. I don't know. All I know is that the baby's name is. Hang on, I got to read this because I do not pronounce this stuff very well, so bear with me. It's called. Hang on. Let me. Just bear with me here. Is there anything? Okay. The baby's name is. Yeah. So yeah, and I don't know how to spell that. So on
I'm
that
gonna edit
note,
that.
I want to remind everybody to email us at theweeklypourpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. Um, click email, just email us. You got something you want to bring up to Ace in regards to some classic music, you want to bring up music or bourbon or whatever to both of us, please email us at theweeklypourpodcast@gmail.com. Also want to give my normal weekly shout out to badcompanybbq.com. Check them out, Instagram or on the web, badcompanybbq.com. If you order something from him, he did throw out either one or two new flavors of seasonings this week, so you definitely want to check them out. That's badcompanybbq.com. and it's Bad Company Barbecue on the Instagrams. Um, go check them out. Uh, Toby would have appreciated that joke a lot more if he was here. Um, but I'm going to see if he can't figure out how to spell that child's name.
I'm sure there's a couple G's and an A and E.
And an
Some
H.
yes.
There's an H there somewhere. Well, we've covered a lot, and I got to tell you, we've been going for almost an hour. Um, my notes are empty. I don't have anything else.
Well, I want to tell you, and I think I texted you that day, but that you brought up the bourbon, and you are a steward.
I'm going to check here.
Uh, but I was at Walmart Saturday, and I was walking by the alcohol, and they have a broad selection of whiskey, bourbon, whatever you call it. There
Both.
were both. There were people there, and they were all pulling whiskey off the bottom shelf. And I texted you right then because we needed your stewardship right then.
Wow.
I can't stop them. I'm not qualified. I,
Agreed.
but
And I
if
wouldn't want to see you get into that trouble.
right, because what do I know?
Yeah.
And
However, I can tell you exactly why they were buying it.
why's that?
The Kentucky Derby.
Ah,
Yeah.
you
It
are
is
right.
time to make mint juleps. So why not do it with shitty whiskey?
Right.
Well, and I take that back because somebody's going to get offended. They're going to call me out on that.
I
If
like my Jack Daniels.
yeah, not
Oh wait, I'm not saying Jack Daniels is shitty. I just pulled the name out of my ass.
you just said it.
Damn it.
Um, some people want to use their top shelf stuff to make the mint juleps. Some people pull the bottom stuff. It's not shitty whiskey because some of the best whiskey, some of the best bourbon you can actually find on the bottom shelf. But we try not to tell many people that because then they're going to go buy it.
Right.
So talk about something for like 30 seconds. I need to grab a bottle that was once a bottom shelf that I can tell you right now is one of the absolute finest bourbons out there, but now it's hard to find. So
Okay.
like start singing a song now for like I don't know, 15 seconds.
I doubt anyone wants to hear that, but you did mention the Derby, and I didn't watch the Derby. It's the first one we've had in a while. But this horse that won had 80 to 1 odds, and I did not make a bet, and I wish I had. I did not look at this though, but I heard Donald Trump did and won. So that's just another case of the rich getting richer. Damn it. All you had to do was make a bet.
Did you watch it?
No, I saw a clip. I
Dude, I
used to watch
watched it.
I used to watch it all the time.
I watched it. Uh I watched it and I was trying to find the name that just stuck out to me. I'm like, oh, I want it, the Metallica
Like,
horse or,
yeah.
Ride the Lightning or something. There was nothing. So I was a little disappointed. And I was like, I don't give a shit who wins, which I didn't. I still don't. But I watched this race, in what is it, 45 seconds of your life?
2 minutes.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. I was at a shindig get together and uh, I was watching. Okay, cool. The one horse that they thought was going to win that was in the lead. Okay, woo, this is exciting. And then all of a sudden, it's like WrestleMania. Somebody's coming from the lights go down, and all of a sudden you've got this music coming, and you hear good old JR just screaming, good God, here they come, and it's somebody coming up. This dude took off
Yeah.
like Fast and the Furious, reaches down, touches the horse, woohoo, right there, turns on that nitro, and his horse takes off.
And that horse was like a substitute horse, even, wasn't it? It wasn't supposed to be in the Derby.
So this is what I understand. The Friday, the day before, the horse that was supposed to be in it, and I don't know how true this is, it had an eye injury. So it was like the one eye horse.
Okay, so
I
what?
don't know. Pulled out, pulled out of the race, which meant that this this horse, I don't remember the name. Do you remember the name?
No,
Okay,
no,
well, the winning horse, they say, "Hey, we got room if your boy wants to be in it." And the owner's like, "Yeah, okay. Here's my chance to get in the Kentucky Derby."
sure.
Does it, gets in 80 to 1 odds.
80 to 1.
80 to 1. And he won. He wins the damn race.
Only in America.
Yeah, I was waiting for like something. I was waiting for there to be something. Something's wrong. Something happened. This is not true. Like, you know, one of them talk show hosts pops out. It's Maury Povich, and he's like, "Haha, this is not your horse."
You're the
Something.
father.
Yeah. But
Well,
daggone, 80 to 1, and this horse comes in and just kicks everybody's ass and wins.
that that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it
And
was.
worth watching.
It was like it'd be like Rey Mysterio coming in and winning the Royal Rumble.
Oh wow.
Not to say it couldn't happen, but but it was amazing.
What's next week? The Belmonts or the
I
Preakness?
I
One
don't
of them.
even know.
But the sad thing is that horse probably won't win again because you always want to see a Triple Crown winner. That's always fun, but it probably won't win again. Man, if it does,
If it does, it's got a chance. Hell,
why not?
he didn't win by like a nose. He came in and like said, "Bitches," and took off. And I swear, if you watch the replay, and you need to do this because I think it was the funniest thing, watch the replay and watch that horse as it's starting to make its climb to pass second and third place.
Yeah.
Because I shit you not, I think the horse is doing one of these. Like he's going, right? He's going. I don't know how this looks, but he's going. But he does this number. Like he side
Oh,
eyes
he
them
side
horses
eye.
like, "I'm gonna get you bitches," and just goes. And then it's like, "I'm out." And he wins. But watch it because he's like, "I got you." Takes him.
So the Rudy of thoroughbreds pulled something out of his ass and won.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool stuff.
He kept running. Yeah. So he won. Here's that bourbon.
Oh, cool.
So I know it's because of the camera angle or whatever. Son of a bitch. Early times.
I've
All
heard of
right.
this.
It's bottled in bond. Unfortunately, this was bought out by another distillery. And this version, at some point, you're not going to be able to get it anymore because I think right now you still can because the barrels are still getting emptied or whatever. But you can see the top. This top is black.
Hmm.
Let me make sure. Yeah, this top is black. Unless I'm backwards, which I'm pretty sure I'm not because I don't think I have any of the new ones. The new bottles, the top is blue, but it's different. And you can only find these if you're lucky at some stores that may still have them in the back. But this was a 20 some dollar bottle.
Okay.
Okay. And it's phenomenal. It's a bottled in bond, so that means that it's 100 proof and that it was basically uh, made under special rules and regulations as set forth by the government. This is, in the words of the bourbon and whiskey people, it's good juice. It's really good juice. Like we're talking Kool-Aid or something,
Yeah.
but
For $20.
the shit's good. Yeah, it's like 20, 24, $25 bottle. I went to Indianapolis. This was last year when I went. And I went to a liquor store and the guy had a case. And between me and my buddy, we bought the entire case.
Really?
Yeah, just because I mean they're 20 some dollars and we knew that they were just that it's outstanding bourbon. So we bought it.
So you're saying the black top is the one you're looking for, though,
Yes,
not the blue.
correct.
Wow.
Yeah. If you can
So
find it. I can't find it around here in our area.
so how long has this the buyout? How long was that?
A couple years ago, I want to say I'm not real up to date on all of that. I just know it happened. I want to say that. Oh hell, I'm not even going to pretend that I can remember who bought it because I may have had some a little bit earlier. Um, Somebody bought them out from where they were, and but it's good stuff. If you can find that version, if you need a sample, I will not mail you a sample.
Okay,
I will not do that.
because you don't do that.
No,
No,
absolutely
no.
not. You can't do that. That's against the law. But try it. Come by. Come by the old Bosun Hole, which is the name of my bar, and check it out. I'll pour you a bottle. I'll bring you some tomorrow at
Oh,
work. I'll pour the whole damn bottle. I don't care. You sit there, like the Stone Cold days.
oh, that's cool that you mentioned that because not Stone Cold, but the bottle. Uh, my wife just got as a gift for Mother's Day from our son and daughter-in-law the whiskey chiller set, which you probably would disapprove of because there's ice. But
No,
oh,
no.
really?
I'm okay with ice.
Okay, well, this is the big balls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
the
those.
the cubes or the spheres.
Yes,
I
yeah,
have a mold that I make my own.
yeah, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
And it's cool as fuck. Um, so someday we'll make some big balls of ice and have a sip. But
Yeah, we'll have a pour. That's for
yeah,
damn sure.
yeah, yeah.
All right, hey, we are past our time limit because somebody's probably already nodded off. They probably did after I pronounced the name of that baby. But episode 7, we're going to bring it to a close. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks to those who actually listen to us that don't tell people that they listen to us, and then when we find out they listen to us, they think one of us is somebody else. I won't mention any names. You know who you are if you're working a night shift, just driving around.
Maybe video will help.
Yeah, I bet it does. But um, we'll be back next week. Hopefully, this audio worked for this video and we get it posted. But we'll be back next week. We're gonna try to have another special guest next week. Um, we're gonna work on that, and we've got 7 days to work on it. So we're gonna try to get one.
So that means the day before.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it always means that, but that's okay. It's how we roll.
All right. Everyone have a good week.
You know what? I should have just ended it right there.
Dramatic pause, right?
Yeah, dramatic pause. That's how we roll. And there was another dramatic pause. That was good. That was very good. If I had hair, I'd be like, excellent. That was nice. Yes. Dramatic pause number
That
3.
was
All
that
right.
was,
That was
that was good.
good. We'll get out of here. We'll let you guys go. Enjoy it. Please leave your comments. If you think we suck, tell us. We don't give a shit. If you like this, let us know. Email us, theweeklypoorpodcast at gmail.com. Go to anchor.fm/theweeklypoor to leave us your voice messages. We have one voice message that has not been answered yet. It is in regards to the vagina tree. That will be answered soon. There's some reasons that I got to discuss with Ace why this hasn't been answered yet. But we'll get
With
to
what?
that. Yeah, and we'll get it finished. So thanks. We'll see you in a week. And that's that. Dramatic pause. Okay, let's
No.
finish.
Good.
End